Nearly every day I'm using up my scraps. Well, I'll probably never use them up, but I use them as often as I can. I limit myself to how many scraps I keep too, because if I keep everything, I'm going to end up with boxes and boxes of them. So I'm very disciplined. I limit myself to small containers. G'day, it's Donna from Australia, and I'm going to show you why I class these 6x6 pads as scraps. I'm going to put my own spin on Treasure Book's little pocket here, and I'm going to show you a couple of other ways that you can use up your scraps. So 4 ideas in total. This idea was inspired by my friend Leslie, and it's a button sampler tag. For the base, I'm using a scrap piece of corrugated cardboard, and you'll need some buttons, and I'm using a scrap piece of tea-dyed paper. I'm making sure that my buttons are going to show out on the paper that I choose. I'm just going to use a ruler and tear off a strip for my tag. I'm tearing my tea-dyed paper a little bit smaller than my base sheet, and I'm just going to put a sewing theme stamp up the top here. It doesn't always happen like this, but today it didn't take me long to find the piece that I wanted to put on here. I was looking for a little bit of lace, but this fabric is working perfect. And I'm making my own hole reinforcement because this is the colour I wanted, and this colour is oatmeal. I start with a round about a 1/2 inch circle and then punch a 1/4 inch circle in the centre. I'm just using the glue stick to glue on this piece of fabric because it's a really light cotton. I've gone and sewed my buttons on off camera, and I'm just stamping them numbered 1 to 3. And then all I have to do is glue this onto my backing sheet and glue on my hole reinforcement up the top here. Punch the hole in and tie a bit of ribbon. And then I went through my scraps again and added a little bit more ribbon. The corrugated cardboard on the back looks really cool. It's a different approach to put this on the back, but I really like it. I think it's a nice surprise when you pull it out of the pocket and you feel this texture on the back rather than have it on the front. This next one, I'm using some pieces of a recycled envelope, and it's not overly heavy, so I'm going to glue 2 pieces together. You could also glue one of these pieces onto a piece of cardboard. I'm just going to tear it to the shape and size I want. I'm stamping a floral design down in the bottom corner, and I'm finding the right piece that I want to glue in the opposite corner. I really wanted to use this lacy doily, so I glue it down in the corner, and then I've got some paper flowers, so I just layer them down, and I've used a brown and a blue so it makes this white flower pop. Now you can leave this here and just make a few of them and put them in your stash, so when you find the right spot in your journal, then you can finish embellishing it. But I've just put this little picture on here just to give you some inspiration on how you can do it, and I've just added some more individual stamps and stamped flowers. I've got heaps of these 6x6s. Ones I like and ones I don't. Using your ugly 6x6 inch prints as scraps reduces waste. It shows that every print, even those you don't like, plays a role in your development as an artist. I'm going to make this little pocket the way Natasha did from Treasure Books, but I'm going to show you how to reduce the bulk and cover it with scraps. Choose a piece of 6x6 that you don't like. I'm using 160 GSM. Turn this around so it looks like a diamond, and the bottom corner, turn it up to meet the top corner, and then crease it with your bone folder so you get a nice sharp crease. Turn your piece around so your fold line's at the top. Bring the bottom corner up to the center of the fold line at the top and give that fold a crease. Turn it around again so the point is at the top. Put your finger on this position here and the point of the bottom, bring it up to be laying along the line here. This is a double thickness, so you'll need your bone folder to put a sharp crease in this fold. Now do the same on the left hand side so the point is running parallel with the line. Then get your bone folder and give it a good press down. Now open these two flaps up, lift the pattern piece up, fold them back underneath it, and this is the base of our pocket done. And before we glue it together to make a pocket, I'm going to show you how you can reduce the bulk. See this double layer here? We are going to remove the bottom pieces. Lay your pocket on the table and open it back up. Put an X on the left triangle and the right triangle here. Now open your pocket all the way back up till it's a 6 by 6 again. And then just cut away where you've put the X, just cut away these two triangles. Now because you've already creased all the folds, just fold it back up and you'll really feel the difference. It's nowhere near as bulky as when we first made it. Now I'm going to use all my scraps to cover up this print that I don't like. These scraps are perfect for this project. The good thing about covering this little pocket is that you can open it up, just open it, cut or tear your pieces, glue them up as you go. This way you'll be able to see which parts you need to cover up, because you don't need to cover up every single part of this pocket. You don't want to make it too bulky. We just got rid of some of the cardstock, so don't go adding it back in. So you can see here what I'm doing. I'm folding it up as I go, and I'm not adding any extra paper over my fold lines. I'm just gluing right up to the fold line, and this is going to make it lay nice and flat. So I'm just putting my paper right up to the fold lines. So just do this all over it. Just check the pieces that you need to add to it as you go along, and then just trim off anything that's hanging over the edges. I've only put a little bit over these triangle flaps here, because see, when you fold them over, we don't want to add bulk there because this piece is going to cover it over, so it's unnecessary. Now we can glue the pocket closed. Run a line of glue down here and close the right hand flap, then the left hand flap. Then put a little bit of glue on the corner of this flap and close it. If you like the point at the top of your pocket, leave it, but I like to round mine. I think it looks really good. I forgot to put a bit of distress ink on my pocket, but it's not hard to add it after you're finished. I think these look adorable with the patchwork scraps on them. You can fit tea cards in them, you can fit playing cards in them. Whatever you have, you can put in these little pockets. Now, idea number 4 is coming up. I don't even have to show you how to do this one. We're making mini masterboards or frankenboards. We've got the ugly paper. I'm going to use this one here, and it's 160 GSM, so it's a good weight to make a mini masterboard. I absolutely love the mini masterboard because it comes together so quick. There's no pressure. Just grab your little scraps and glue them down randomly as you go along. It doesn't take anywhere near as long as an A4 does to glue down. You can use your smallest bits on here, and you can even use baking paper. You're going to need your 6 by 6 ugly base, some glue, and something that you can use so you don't make a mess when you're gluing the back of your papers. Start by tearing off the size that you want and then just glue the back and start laying them all over your 6x6. Couldn't be easier. Enjoy yourself because these take no time at all to put together, unless you're as fussy as I am. Even though I didn't like the background on this 6x6, when I put this baking paper over the top of it, it looked all right. So if you haven't used baking paper on your masterboards before, give it a try. You can make so many things out of these little masterboards, but I just folded this one in half, put some eyelets in it, threaded a double piece of seam binding, tied a knot. It just wraps around the journal from the front to the back, tie a big bow in it. I really enjoy the feeling I get from creating with scraps. I know you're all just like me. We cannot bear to throw them out. If you have some ideas on how you use your scraps, share them with us. Using up your scraps and your ugly 6x6 inch pieces as scraps are so economical, especially if you are experimenting. It allows you to use materials efficiently without wasting larger formats on projects you may not be satisfied with.